Okay, so when you're dealing with the United States in an investment treaty, which is what the TTIP would largely be, the U.S. has always required other countries to give what they call market access rights, to let U.S. companies buy what they want in the country and have a legal right to do that under the treaty. So that creates a dilemma for countries, which is, well, where do we want to have carve-outs? Where do we want to have exceptions? And usually countries always have exceptions. In fact, the country that tends to have the most exceptions is the United States. When you look at U.S. investment treaties, you find large areas of the U.S. economy are actually precluded from foreign investment under U.S. investment treaties, which is a little bit odd because a lot of these treaties are with very small countries that don't have companies that would invest in the U.S. anyway. But you know, transportation, banking, telecommunications, large areas of the U.S. economy, long list. So other countries then have to ask themselves, well, shouldn't we have the same list as the United States? Because even if you have a policy preference to make that part of the economy open to foreign investors, you might want to keep your legal right in the future to change your policy. And that's what the TTIP would preclude if it provided for market access rights. You can't change your policy in the future, even if you're open now. So it's smart to be cautious and reserve areas of your economy that you might conceivably want to protect in the future, even if you don't protect it now. So if what you're telling me is true, that the Netherlands, you know, is not going to reserve any parts of its economy in the TTIP, and the TTIP includes market access rights. That's all, of course, speculative because we don't have a text of the TTIP. I understand there's a leak, but you know, really we would need to look at the legal text, and the government should ideally be releasing those kinds of things for independent scrutiny. But if it's true, the Netherlands doesn't have any carve-outs at all, then it has given up all of its legal rights to prevent U.S. investors from buying anything in its economy, even if it wanted to change its policy in the future. And that would be way out of step with what the U.S. does and what pretty much every country does when it introduces reservations of that nature. So if that's true, I would be shocked by it. But I know, of course, I can't say whether it's true if it's based on simply a leak.
A leak to the BBC, though.
Okay, but I mean, look, I'm a lawyer and you have to read the text, and I agree the onus is on the government to release the text. I mean, that's the important point. If there's a possibility that that's happening, it's up to the government to show it is not happening, and that needs to be backed at a certain point by the text.